Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think what hasn't been said here yet is that America is an exceptional nation, and I think all of us believe that in our heart. Most Americans do. I've seen it when I've gone down to a shipyard in Morgan City where workers, those who are still working, have the pride in their eyes and the craftsmanship that they've been able to put together to build vessels. Same in Cameron, where we have oil rigs that are stacked, but some are still working to fabricate, to hang on to those jobs. And those are good paying jobs, much better paying than the average. Fact is, workers, American families are hurting, and they're hurting bad. I read the testimony last night, all of your testimony, and I can tell you the charts, the graphs are depressing. 0.7% growth in the last quarter of the year, absolutely depressing. I put it down. I picked up Ian Toll's first volume of the Pacific War, our actions in World War II, and read the chapter on Midway. And it gives me hope that we're going to come out of this because Americans always face a challenge and we always have an innovative response. That's why we're exceptional. We came out of the recession because we had a bump in exports and we had the shale revolution, and oil and gas production soared that helped us come out of that recession. And both are down now, as is consumption, manufacturing, all the indicators for our economy. We've got to change it. That means understanding what's going on with trade and leading, as Mr. Reichert just talked about. It's about restoring growth, because we cannot restore American leadership without economic growth. Trade is key. We have to retool our tax code. I mean, right now, American companies are really struggling because of the tax code. And on the international side, whether it's the BEPS coming out of OECD, the hostility coming out of Europe on state aid, the adverse merger and acquisition activity, if we don't do this with a sense of urgency, we're going to lose. We need to understand the linkage between trade and energy. And we just opened up LNG exports and the potential for crude oil exports. But none of these things are going to solve that broad problem until we embrace this energy sector and understand how we retool our energy strategy to fit the 21st century. These things will make a major difference. My state of Louisiana understands this, but the Washington dysfunction here, the lack of a political will, and the lack of the understanding to sit down and have a real conversation about these issues and how we solve these things is what's holding us back. We have to take the bull by the horns here and start solving these problems for the sake of this country.